Finally, here also. And son, my Zhang.
Hello my loves and welcome back to a new video. My name is Jade Shinyu and I help people reclaim back their power physically, mentally and spiritually. And today I'm going to be exposing quite an uncomfortable truth, and that's the very disgusting and viral video that's going around about the Dalai Lama being extremely inappropriate towards a young boy. So obviously there's a viral video going around of the Dalai Lama inappropriately trying to make a boy suck his tongue and even pulling his head towards him and kissing him. Now, this is no surprise to me and people who know the truth about the Dalai Lama, how he is basically a fraud. He is not a holy man. And this is something that has been meaning to come to light for quite some time. So with these people who are high up in authority, especially religious orders, such as the Pope, obviously the Dalai Lama and other people, Mother Teresa, these people are not what you think. These people are 100% frauds. They are not holy. They are not compassionate. They're basically just puppets, and it's all a front. Because behind closed doors and what really happens behind the scenes is these people are involved in extremely dark and shady things. It's well known now that the Dalai Lama has actually worked for the CIA since probably the 1950s, 1960s, and has received a hell of a lot of money from them as well. It was reported that he was actually being paid $1.7 million a year by the CIA. And what's even more quite shocking about him as well is he was actually paid $1 million by a different group that was actually a sex cult to endorse it and promote it, when it was basically a sex cult that was brainwashing and branding women and basically, yeah, extremely dangerous and extremely abusive. So what kind of holy man would go around promoting abusive, demonic cults that abused women for money? And of course, when you look at people like the Dalai Lama, the Pope, etc., they are always inappropriate towards children. So if this is something that he does in public, in front of cameras, in front of, you know, the world, really, what do you think happens behind closed doors? What do you think he does in private? Because if he thinks that this type of behavior is appropriate to literally force a young child who only wanted a hug to kiss him on the lips, an 87-year-old man, you know, kissing a young little boy on the lips and asking him to suck his tongue, if you think that's appropriate, then what else does he think is appropriate behavior? So after this obviously came to light and the media somewhat covered it very quickly, you know, it didn't get much coverage, barely. So once obviously this came to light, he did release an apology. Well, it wasn't him, but it was on his Twitter, basically apologizing, saying that, oh, he's very sorry if his words, it wasn't his words, it was his actions, offended or upsetted anyone and friends and family of the boy. And also that they went on to say that His Holiness often teases people in a playful and innocent way. I don't know about you, but I don't know what other adult men or women play innocently with children, which involves kissing them and trying to force them to suck their body parts and tongues in particular. Obviously, that's a sexual thing. So, yeah, what you need to remember about these people, like I've said in my other videos, so go check out my spiritual gurus exposed video, as I did touch on the subjects in that video. You know, these people of power have been put there for a reason. They are not what you think. A lot of the time, it is all a play. It is all a front. They are very narcissistic. They're basically wolves in sheep's clothing. They come across as very soft and beautiful and kind and pure, but they are anything but. So do remember, you know, the truth. And I said this before in other videos, that a lot of these truths are gonna come to light. All these dark, hidden truths, you know, since really 2020, is all coming to light. And a lot has happened already. So even to Nityananda, you know, he was another very controversial guru who came to light, also being a predator and preying on young children, abusing them, etc. So all of this is coming to light, even with celebrities, you know, the whole Jeffrey Epstein Island thing. You know, so much is coming to light, and mark my words, it will continue to do so. You know, a lot of darkness is going to be exposed, and secrets, and it's happening all over in all parts, you know, celebrities, spiritual leaders, politicians. We've already been having that happen a lot. You know, even the videos of Biden going around sniffing little children's heads and shit. Like, you know, there's so much. Like, there already is so much evidence. You just got to know where to find it and see it. But they can't hold up this facade for much longer, and this is why everything now seems to be like crumbling down. People are having a very tough, rude awakening, realizing that these people that they worshipped, that they thought were so pure, you know, that they would even give them peace and salvation, you know, all this bullshit that they promise, they're now realizing that it's all a lie, it's all a scam. You know, these people are really the opposite. They're demonic, they're satanic, they're anything but holy and pure. You know, in this matrix, everything is inverted. Everything is inverted. So what you see, you know, in these religious orders and places, you know, it's demonic. It's all been taken over. And this includes Christianity, Islam, all of them have been sabotaged and infiltrated by darkness. So, you know, the roots of these religions would have been good, would have been pure, but unfortunately it's been taken over by man, it's been taken over by dark energy, it's all been corrupted heavily. And this is why you see, especially within religion and within these orders, so much abuse happens. Even with the Dalai Lama himself, like in Tibet, you know, he had slaves. There's loads of documents of him literally having slaves, and if they went out of line, if they weren't done what they were told, they would literally be killed, they would be tortured, they would have their eyes gouged out. They lived in poverty, whilst he lived in luxury with his, you know, more close servants, etc. In his palace. Like, he's an extremely wealthy man. Like with even people like Sadhguru, same sort of thing. He's an extremely wealthy and powerful man who comes across as very holy, very pure. But if you really look and do deeper research into things, you'll see that's not the case. These are businessmen who work for the CIA. They're all connected to the governments. They're not just some random person who found enlightenment and they're a blessing from God, or God reincarnated, like Nityananda claims to be, Shiva reincarnated. It's all a lie. It's all a scam. So this is the trap that people who are seeking enlightenment, spirituality, you have to be so careful of. You've got to really use your discernment when you're trying to connect to any sort of guru, because it's so easy when you learn about spiritual philosophies, when you learn about spiritual knowledge, it is so easy to just put on the mask, put on the front, you know, wear hippie clothes, wear all the beads, you know, look the part aesthetically, speak softly. You know, these people are extremely charming. They're very good at manipulating. They're very good at acting. So it is so easy for them to fool people because, you know, narcissists, psychopaths, sociopaths, they have no remorse. They have no empathy. All they care about is themselves, their own power, their own greed, fulfilling their own desires, you know, pleasures, no matter how taboo or wrong it is. So they don't give a shit. They will literally do what it takes to look the part, get their own way, so they can feed off your energy, have all that power, have all the fame and money. So it's so imperative to be really, really careful and cautious with who you give your energy to, like I said in my other video. If you want to learn more about all these darker truths, you know, conspiracy theories, they're not theories, they're truths. Unfortunately, I cannot post them on YouTube as they delete them. I literally had a video deleted about a week or so ago that I made about Justin Bieber and what he had been through. So if you want to watch that, that is over on my Goddess Coven Patreon, as well as many other videos that I have done specifically on this topic. So, you know, one of my main passions is exposing this sort of thing. As I believe it's so imperative that we do expose darkness. You can't be ignorant. When you're on the spiritual path, one of the biggest tricks that these, you know, demonic beings, these demonic people try to do to you is they try to take you away from shining light on darkness. But, you know, stars don't shine without darkness. You have to acknowledge it. Because if you are someone who is just seeking enlightenment, it's so easy to fall into these sort of traps if you're not aware of these darker truths. If you're not aware of the full truth of who these people actually are, you'll easily be sucked into their traps. And this is why you can't just be ignorant, especially when you're on this new age, fluffy spiritual path. You can't shine away from it. You have to integrate darkness. You have to see it for what it is. Of course, you don't have to be obsessive over it and make it depress you, because that is also disempowering. So it's all about balance. Like I always say, you have to have that balance between darkness and light. And that's what makes you whole. That's what gives you true wisdom, true enlightenment. Because true enlightenment is clarity. It's not about being superhuman. It's not about how much money you can manifest. It's not about all this, you know, garbage that the new age, you know, forces down your throat. Because a lot of that is very narcissistic, egotistical. It still links to all your egotistical desires, you know, your trauma and all that sort of thing. You know, enlightenment is very pure. It's very humble, wise. It's all about just being grateful for what you actually have. And doing what you can to be of service to the world, to do what's right, to really be a light. Because to be a light in this world, you have to help those in pain. You have to, you know, be a voice for the voiceless. Otherwise, if you're literally just going around in your own little solipsistic, narcissistic bubble, what sort of light are you being, really? Nothing. You're just self-serving, and that is actually what Satanism is all about. So please go check out my video about Satanism within the New Age to understand more about that, because that goes hand in hand with this sort of thing, and it's very important to acknowledge on this path. But that being said, of course, you can, you know, manifest what you want. Again, it's all about balance. But yeah, it has to be balanced always. So if you're someone who is wanting to learn more, like I said, go check out my Patreon, as I have way more uncensored videos there where I dive much deeper into these sort of topics and expose a hell of a lot of, you know, darker truths that I can't on YouTube. Also, if you need one-to-one help, I do offer oracle card readings where I can help you with any sort of problem, issue that you may be struggling with. I do still have my spring sale that's going on at the minute, so it's £20 off the normal price. So as always, I'll link that down below in the description box. And until next time, my loves, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to click the notification bell. And until next time, I'm sending you so much love, so much light. Ahimsa.